Happy Saturday, everybody. So there's probably only about 16 and a half people going to watch this because it's Saturday afternoon and, it's 2 o'clock and everybody else is doing things other than watching me rant about how difficult it would be for travel agents at the moment. But one of the things that happened over the last couple of days following this really great ACTA Travel Industry Summit was that we were inundated with questions. And the biggest question that I was asked was, should we even be selling travel right now because of all the controversy? Do we want to lose all the goodwill that we've gained as travel advisors throughout this pandemic? And, it's a very difficult question, and it's hard to answer that question because it really depends on you, and it also depends on how you message it. There was an article this morning in USA Today, and it clearly said that there are two sides of the story, and that, I know friends who, yes, they may qualify for CERB, but, once that is ended, then what do they do? How do they feed their families? People in other countries who are travel advisors, they may not be getting the same sort of help from the government as we have been in Canada, but at some point that's going to run out. So what do we do? Do we continue to say, oh yes, well, we understand that travel is, not possible or not advisable right now? Or do we try to look to the future in an optimistic way and actually try to sell for the future, future bookings? There are some companies that are paying travel agents part of the commission up front, which is great, and it would really help a lot of people right now. So my opinion, and this is only my opinion, okay, guys, this is just my opinion. I think that it is important for travel agents to lead by example. And I think the people that are going out and traveling and taking pictures of the safety protocols that are available and taking notes of all the things that are good about the new way of travel is a good way of informing clients about how it's going to look when they do want to travel. And I think that's a good thing, but I also think that it's very important that we get that message correct so that we don't seem to be insensitive, which I get, we don't want to be insensitive, but we want to be able to ask people who are our clients or your clients how they feel about travel, where would they like to go when they're looking to travel, how are they going to start to rebook. It's not just for leisure, it's not just for vacations, it's also people like me. I don't have very many friends and family in this country, so I've got people overseas that I would like to see. I have a couple of clients and / friends who they have a relative, their mother is 98 years old, and they haven't seen her for 9 months. Well, 9 months to a 98-year-old may be a very large percentage of the time that she has left on this earth. So, it's all very different reasons that people travel and people want to travel. So I think that as long as you get your messaging right, as long as you say to people when you feel that it's safe, I'm just going to go and test it out for you first, a bit like the taste tester in fairy tales who was tasting the queen's food and then, all of a sudden, oh, dead. Okay, well, maybe I won't eat that soup then. Well, you could be the taste testers. You could be the people that go out there and say, okay, I'm trying it out for you. I'm showing you what it's going to look like. I am testing the waters, as they say. I'm trying out the hotels. I'm going on the planes. I'm keeping very safe. I am following all the protocols, and this is how it will look once you start to travel. Because it's the only way that you can keep that dream alive and keep people thinking about traveling. it's the only way to keep us in the now, you know, so that people can still see that you are selling travel, but perhaps for the future. Tell people about your special deals that you can find. Tell people about the discounts available for future travel bookings. Tell people about how if you book a flight now with many airlines, they will give you a refundable ticket for not much more money. So, you know, promote those things for future travel, not necessarily for saying to people, hey, book now and go tomorrow, because not many people will want to do that. However, if they do, of course, yes, you can book it. But there's a lot of controversy out there, and there's no real answer to it. And the other question I was asked at the ACTA conference was about my 19 Lemons website. Well, it's a corporate thing that we're working on, myself and my publicist, Paul Fitzgerald, who is amazing. And we are going to be helping companies, but more of a corporate side of it. We're going to be helping companies to get back up and running, get the message out there, and get their marketing back up and running, their promotion, their PR, and all of that thing. But if you want to reach me on lorrainesimpson.com. Send me an email. I am always happy to chat about travel. I'm always happy to answer your questions. And yeah, I mean, if you have any comments, oh, there are some comments coming up here. Okay, so Tina, so good morning, Tina. You are now selling auto insurance. Well, you know what? The thing is, the travel will come back. You know, it will. But here is a comment that we've had about how somebody has gone and pivoted, and that's brilliant. I love that. But once travel comes back, you can always move back into travel or do both, Tina, which I love that. I think that's great. Thanks so much for your comment. I really appreciate it. And then another LinkedIn user here was saying that we are between a rock and a hard place. Absolutely. We definitely are between a rock and a hard place. And suppliers do need to extend the olive branch and help us. You know, more and more suppliers are seeing that need to help us. And I do think that that is going to come to fruition. More and more suppliers are looking at helping in some way and helping us to survive this crisis, because we may be getting money from the government at the moment, but what happens when that dries up? You know, what happens when we're not still selling travel in another year's time, and there's no more money coming from the government because everywhere else is open again. You know, restaurants are open again in a year's time. Gosh, I hope it doesn't take that long, but you know what I mean. So what happens then? So it's really up to us to take the initiative now and to try to get our businesses back up and running. But I will say this. One of the great things about a crisis is that many of the rules are bent. Many of the protocols are stretched to allow for new things to be put into place. So, for example, Churchill famously said, "Don't waste a good crisis." He didn't say it exactly like that, but in essence, he said, "Don't waste a good crisis." And what he meant by that was that we are able to all move forward, and it's those who stay standing will get the furthest right now, because you have an opportunity. This is a crisis, yes, but it's also an opportunity to grow, and we're all flattened at the same level. So if we're all starting from here, you know, you have the possibility and the opportunity to rise faster than you did before. And the difference is also that you now have knowledge, you now have connections that you perhaps didn't have when you started out. So you have that ability to be able to rise faster than you did the first time. That's why big companies like, Richard Branson, many companies, when they first started out, they went bankrupt. And with the knowledge that they learned from the first time out, the second time out, they were incredibly successful. So don't let it get you down, because actually you can rise out of this and do incredibly well. You know, it's definitely something that we can do. Lisa, thank you for your comment here that that you're grateful that, you know, we get that you get a pension. I mean, talking about travel is wonderful, but producing a weekly presentation on travel is brilliant. That's a great pivot, and I totally think it's a brilliant way to go. And me too. I mean, I've got rid of my travel company to start to do more on the TV and more of the producing and talking at conferences and virtual conferences and things like that, which I absolutely love. So I've definitely found my favorite thing. And that is, again, like you, Lisa, talking about travel as opposed to just trying to sell it. So that's all I have for now. That's just my kind of rant, but I just wanted to say it now because so many people keep messaging me, what shall I do? Shall I sell? Shall I do this? Shall I do that? You know, and I just wanted to say that we are between a rock and a hard place. It is very difficult, but just be careful how you get your messaging out there. And I will be bringing out a training course that I'm hoping to get some funding so that we can make it affordable for everybody. I'm working on that at the moment. So check it out on my website, lorrainesimpson.com. Send me an email and I'll keep you on the list for when we do that. And I'm here to help anytime. So just let me know if you need anything. So thanks for all the comments. Really appreciate it. And have a great weekend, everybody. And don't panic because it's going to come back. It's definitely going to come back. We're going to be great. It's going to be bigger and better than ever. And it will. It absolutely will. So see you again soon. Thanks for watching.